Hello, everybody. My name is Nathan Bird, and welcome to my SPED talk for my senior project. So, today I would like to talk a little bit about how we can improve our styling for websites and our HTML applications. So, let's look at our first example here. We have a very simple example, just three elements, just three styles, and it's very easy to see which style goes with which element, right? And you're probably aware, as you are making your styles, you typically have classes that contain very specific styles for specific elements, right? So in this case, we have this left align paragraph using this p-left style, right? And so forth. And like I said, it's very easy to see which styles go with which elements in this case, right? But let's talk about some of the drawbacks of that. When we get into a more complicated example, let me go to my example 2. So here we can see we have some card elements, and we are doing all of the styling for these ourselves, right? And you can see our our tree of elements is gotten a bit bigger, of course, right? Because we have many more things to keep track of. And as you can see, we have so many more styling things for each element. And it is very easy to make classes that can be used with multiple different elements in your HTML, right? We have our custom card title that corresponds with this, right? And of course, I'm using the in HTML style tag, but typically you would have a CSS file. And you have to go back and forth between your CSS file and your HTML file and look for the styles of whatever element you want to change to be able to change it, right? And that is where a framework like Bootstrap comes into play. So Bootstrap is basically a library that has a bunch of different styling classes built in. And so let's say, for example, that I wanted to change the color of this button, right? So what I would typically need to do with a vanilla CSS example, right, is I would need to have, I don't know, some background. Let's say we wanted it to be yellow in this case, right? And our live preview, our pictures change, right? So we have this background yellow. That means we need to add a background yellow style. And of course, that changes the background color. And I happen to know that gold is a pretty good yellow color. But of course, as you can see, we would probably need more than just to change the background color. We need to add a style to change the text color to make it look better on a lighter background, right? So that's just another thing we need to add in here. What is it? Color, and make it dark. And maybe that looks a little bit better. Okay, so let's talk about how we can use Bootstrap. You can see, okay, let me just show this really quick. You can see we have 90 lines of code in here. And if we go to our example 3 that uses Bootstrap, that's cut in half, basically. So let me show this preview. We have the same exact example here, half the amount of code we have to write, right? So you can see it uses these built-in classes. We have a button class, button primary class, card text, card title, card body. It's so handy to just have these built in. You don't have to write all of the boilerplate for your card styles, your modal styles, whatever you need to use within your applications. And watch how easy it is for me to change the color of this button, right? All I have to do is change this to button warning, which I happen to know is the yellow color. And look, immediately it changes to something that looks really pretty good. So obviously Bootstrap is a really handy library, especially as you are getting a prototype off the ground or for pretty simple use cases. But it also has some use in more enterprise style applications. There is React Bootstrap, which has um, components, built-in React components that you can use within your applications as well. And obviously, you might not have the same color scheme. We can see the button primary is a blue color. Maybe you want a different primary colors, different theme colors. Well, those are also pretty easy to change with Bootstrap. Um, but we can talk about those in another video, perhaps. But for now, that's going to do it for me. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.